What's up, everybody? It's Crypto Winter Bowl. Today I am going to be showing you and talking about ETHW and ETH Fair. I'm primarily going to focus on ETHW because I haven't been able to figure out how to get into ETH Fair, so I'm just primarily going to talk about ETHW and kind of compare them to ETC, ETH Fair, and also, I will show you some of the dApps that I trust to interact with on ETHW. Also, some of the mining stats on ETHW, and yeah, and just go over some of the liquidity and stuff. So, first things first, if you are looking to get into this, this is not financial advice. You should do your own research before doing any of this stuff and understand the risks of getting into a new chain early on. Um, but I personally don't see any risks in ETHW. More just opportunity to see what a new chain has to offer. Obviously, we're all waiting for Pulse Chain and stuff, so this is kind of a good prerequisite training, I guess, if you want to call it that, into how liquidity and price action and stuff will happen on Pulse Chain. um, so the place that I'm picking ETHW up on is FTX. Um, this is the only place I've been able to grab it. Uh, I just use a separate exchange to buy ETH, and then I transfer my crypto onto FTX and then swap the ETH for the ETHW. It is important that if you're trying to send ETHW to an exchange, that you select um, I'm not logged in, but you go to the ETHW wallet on whatever exchange you're using, and you only send the ETHW to that wallet on that exchange. But when you're sending it off the exchange, you can just use your standard Ethereum address, and then you have to switch to mainnet. So while we're here, I will show you how to uh, what RPC settings you need. So in your MetaMask, you come down to this tab here where it says networks, and you would click add network, and then it would take you to where is it? Yeah, it would take you to that screen, and then you would copy these settings into your um, into the boxes. I'll leave all these in the description just so it's easy for you guys to add them. Um, and then you just click save, and then you'll come down to the drop and it'll take you there. So that's that. So now let's check out Dex Screener. I'll leave this in the description. So this is the place that I go to check out all of the activity on the network. So basically, to get onto this, you just come down to the sidebar, scroll down, and you'll see ETH POW or ETH Fair. You click on that, and it'll kind of give you a list of all of the tokens. So one thing to notice here is the liquidity, right? So some of the liquidity is like $1. There's like no liquidity. I would say outside of like the top 20, like very illiquid. So just be mindful of that if you're trying to do like $1,000 buy in some of these liquidity pools. Um, you're just gonna move the price against you. So just be kind of aware of what you're doing. Um, if you're trying to buy something in like the 15K liquidity area, maybe just try like one ETHW buy at a time, and just space that over the course of like a day or so, um, just so you're not getting that slippage against you. One thing interesting though is, well, HEX and Hedron are one of the top liquid pairs on ETHW. So that says a lot that hexagons are jumping over this chain, using it. Um, there's also a Uniswap uh, DApp for ETHW, which I'll show you. Um, but Hex on ETHW is doing quite well. Everything else is just kind of, I mean, it looks like they're pumping, but the liquidity just isn't there. So one of the metrics that I'm looking at on a new chain like this is how much liquidity is actually in the liquidity pools. Um, so, you know, if we compare this to Ethereum Fair, you see like there's only like 23K of liquidity in the Hex ETH pair, whereas compared to Hex ETH on ETHW, there is like over 100K, 78K. So this is where you're gonna get less slippage, and just more people are using this over ETH Fair. So now what's interesting is if we come to Ethereum Classic, like just by first glance, like Ethereum W has way more liquidity in its liquidity pools than ETC does even. So that kind of says a lot because this chain has been out for like years, right? And the fact that ETHW just launched 7 days ago and there's a lot more liquidity, that's something to uh, kind of brag about. Um, if you ask me, it's just the adoption of ETHW has been significant compared to what's already there in ETC. So the biggest thing for that would say that ETHW is a success is once the market cap doesn't show up yet, but once ETHW flips ETC, so we can see there's 4 billion in market cap on ETC. So like once the market cap of ETHW flips ETC, I would consider that a success. But what's more likely to happen? So ETC has a $4 billion market cap. And let's check out HEX. So HEX on ETHW has a 1.17 billion market cap. So, we're like just under a 4x away from Hex on ETH proof of work flipping the whole entire market cap of Ethereum Classic. So like, it's give it like 6 months to a year, and I think Ethereum proof of work will dominate even Ethereum Classic. Just in sheer liquidity as well. So yeah, it's really interesting to see. I'm particularly participating. I bought some Hex and Hedron on ETH proof of work. I really like it. It kind of gives me an opportunity to get my hex bags up for a relatively cheaper cost. Now, if we compare the liquidity pools on ETH proof of work to regular Ethereum, you can see, let's see, Hex ETH. So there's $1.4 million in liquidity in the Hex ETH pair, and Hex USDC is 8.47. So I mean, even if we can get to 50% of Hex versus ETH on ETH proof of work, like 500,000, 600K liquidity in that pair on ETH POW, I would consider that a success in overall adoption for this chain. Um, so it's slow. It's a slow grind, right? Um, Obviously, I don't think we're gonna reach price parity on ETH proof of work, but if we could find a ratio, whether it be 3 to 1, 4 to 1, 5 to 1, and we can kind of stick to that ratio, um, I think it'll be very good that that happens because we don't want cheap hex on any chain. And we also want the markets on each chain to be pretty liquid so that this is a viable option if you're trying to arbitrage or maybe even just end stake your stuff. You want the liquidity so that you can either sell that or provide liquidity and get fees, right? You don't just want Hex to die on every other chain except for the main chains, right? You want it to be well liquid on every chain and have good price chart. Um, so yeah, that's just kind of the liquidity aspects of this chain. Um, you know, if you're thinking about getting in, um, it's not financial advice, but typically the most price appreciation happens when the liquidity is low. As long as you're not trying to sell and only buy, uh, it won't hurt you. Like I said before, if you want to buy a lot, just kind of slowly scale in. Don't just take your $1,000 or whatever you got and do a one buy. Just do like you could do split that $1,000 up into like 15 buys or so, and just do like really small buys every day or every couple hours, just to limit that slippage against you. So now I'm gonna show you some of the mining stats. So this is the stats for ETH proof of work. So we're currently running at 35 terahash a second, um, 447 terahash for difficulty, and there's only 10 nodes. Um, so like the network is still extremely tiny. We compare that to Ethereum Classic. So this network's running at 170. So just over a 5x over what ETHW has. So I think over time, um, the network hash rate on ETHW will catch up to this, if not surpass it. It just depends on the adoption of it the and how worth it is to mine. So if we start getting up into the like right now, like ETHW is pumping. So like if we get back up to that $30 mark, I think the miners are going to be a lot more incentivized to actually mine this. Right now, it's probably just like a few big miners that switched over. But I think once we get to that $30 mark, we're going to see a significant spike in the overall network hash rate, just because it's going to be more profitable to actually mine it than it is now. Um, so if you want, if you have ETHW, your free ETHW, and you want to purchase some HEX, um, the way I've been doing it has been using the Hedron.pro app. So you come over to Hedron.pro and then you click on Uniswap. And then when you connect your MetaMask, you're going to make sure that you're on the Ethereum proof of work network. So you're going to make sure that you're on this network here. And then it'll automatically switch over. And then you click ETHW. You can click HEX. And you can see that 1 ETHW will get you 5,700 HEX. So that's how you do that. And then to stake it, you can come over to app.icosa.pro and you can just stake your HEX like normal. Create stake, enter your amount of HEX, your stake length, native or encapsulated, and boom, you can stake your HEX there. Or you can use tshare.app. This is a Matty Allen product, which is kind of interesting. It has like a little mini game. So I think this is how you decide on how long you want your stake to be. Boom. So 150 points. So this is interesting because I did the top heart there and it gave me some HEX and retained the gas fee. So you could go ahead and mint that. So yeah, you could go and mint that and stake HEX for 15 years for free. So it's cool. It's really cool. Start over, so let's try it again. And then if we just go to like, if we just go to the first heart here, so I got 35 points. Keep prize. And it's allowed me to stake 500 HEX for free for 5 years. So kind of cool. But yeah, if you just want to stake your own HEX, I haven't played around with this too much, but I just come over to app.icosa.pro, and then if you want to play around with tshare.app, go ahead. It's a great product. You might get some free hacks out of it. But yeah, so liquidity. So yesterday the liquidity was like 50K. So like it's almost doubled in just overnight. We hit about 38% of a penny. So I'm thinking maybe within like the next couple months we might hit a penny. It's hard to say just based on how things are going though. And if ETHW keeps pumping, it's just gonna drag the price of HEX up with it. And also on Nomics, you can come over and you can check out ETH proof of work on there as well. It's up like 83% today. So I don't know if I'd be rushing to buy right now, but do your own research. And yeah, just be careful when you're doing this stuff. Be responsible for your actions. And at the end of the day, you click the buy or sell button, not somebody else. So do your own research, be responsible, and that should be it for all now. I'll see you in the next one, guys. Peace.